Welcome everyone for another random session. And we are among the Pranang caves in Thailand. I hate showing this off that I am in Thailand or this. But these caves, these rocks, whatever you want to call it, it reflects life. How the sharp edges of the rocks, it just shows one's life. Life is good, bad and ugly. And that's what your horoscope is. Every human being, including an astrologer, is good, bad and ugly. And the moment we accept that, we accept humans. And problems in life are not much. Anyway, coming to random thoughts, today is I'm going to be speaking a very, very important topic. But before that, in random thoughts too, I feel some of you liked it, some of you did not like it. I know the people who did not like it. I know why. If somebody feels that because they discussed my horoscope I'm upset, of course I'm not. It truly doesn't matter to me. The only thing I tell all these Facebook astrologers is, how do they know? They are not looking at a horoscope which has a curse. How do they not know that they are looking at a horoscope which is not possessed or which is possessed? Speaking of curses, some of you would like to say, hey man, he's trying to scare, put fear. I think 2-3 months back there was this wave on FB that I tried to bring in fear. None of these guys who created that very fantastic campaign against Saptarishis and me have ever read Prashna Marga. Nor do they, nor have they learned from a parampara, Jyotish like say Sanjay Rath or many others. So when you read Prashna Marga, you realize to a certain extent how to see all this Bada, Upari Bada, what we call, and all the troubles that I mentioned earlier, like spirits, etc., and all that. And reading that is one thing, learning that, mastering that, decades. And unless you learn that from a Kerala Jyotish, that to a very hardcore Kerala astrologer, you can't even come close to that book. Just reading that book is nothing. People who practice astrology, the joke among senior astrologers are people who practice astrology. In their practice, they start reading a book. They start reading classics. They already started the practice. They already started charging money. Just imagine going to a doctor, a surgeon, and he's reading a book, how to do advanced surgery or how to do surgery. Are you gonna get operated with that doctor? You're gonna tell him you can go, I don't want to get operated. But that's the fancy. People don't realize in the astrological fraternity that if you flash something, hey, I'm reading this book now. Man, you're supposed to have read for 20 years, practiced on blind horoscopes, etc. for free for 20 years and then come and charge money because you're playing with someone's life. So today I'm going to give you, today's topic is how do you judge whom to contact for a prediction, for a consultation, and whom not to. Most of us commit the mistake of going to a predictor, a brilliant predictor. I've said this before. I think I said it on my birthday video. Is you can go to a person who's a good predictor, but when you go to a good human being astrologer, he guides you. His guidance itself is like God's guidance, because ninth house is the house of astrologer. And ninth house is the house of God's blessings. When you go to an astrologer, notice one thing beforehand. Try to find out about him, how his style of predicting is, etc. And what you need to do is see to it that does that astrologer give you 10 past predictions from your horoscope. This event happened in your life at so and so year. Your mother fell sick in so and so year. You passed out of your education at so and so year. You fell in love for the first time at so and so year. You got your first job in so and so year. All these kind of things. Because it's very simple. You don't buy a car from somebody who's not made a car before. You go and buy a car from a good reputed car company. Similarly, if somebody can't predict your past correctly, how is it that he's going to predict your future? What is the guarantee of it? Ideally speaking, it needs to be 20 predictions, minimum. Because hey, you have a lifespan of 70 years. In 70 years, 70 events minimum will happen. Major ones, minimum, out of which by the time you reach an astrologer's doorstep, you're probably 20, 25. he needs to give you at least 10, 20 predictions. This is the traditional way followed in India. Always. Modern astrologers create their own rules because they don't learn astrology from a Jyotish guru, but they learn astrology from books or YouTube videos or Facebook. If you want an example, read the old books of K.N. Rao, Yogi's Destiny and Wheel of Time, or many others, where he has given predictions in writing, how he predicted 15 to 20 events for a native and then predicted the future. In that process, what the astrologer does is he also corrects your horoscope. But broadly, seeing your Rashi chart, he needs to give you at least 10 predictions. Then he needs to tell you, okay, after these 10 predictions, I am probably going in detail in your divisional horoscopes and correcting it, rectifying it based on the events. One or two events, I am just double checking. But if he tells you 20 predictions and all the 20 predictions, out of that probably 60% were wrong, he can't after that come and tell you, hey, I was just trying to rectify your divisional horoscopes. Right at the start, he needs to tell you that. That is one very significant point. Do not ever consult an astrologer. This is my personal belief. I've seen it working. And I believe when an astrologer does that, he's catching your vibration of your horoscope. He's catching the vibration of your horoscope. Then, these days there is this trend of our TV channels, astrology and all that, per minute astrology, where you pay per minute to the call center. And what happens is, that's pure, from my point of view, that's pure commercialization. Because if somebody does not have time for you, if somebody is just looking at your horoscope for 10 minutes, is giving you only a 10-minute reading, or he is only saying, okay, ask 3 questions, okay, this is another business. Per question, so much amount of money. You got to tell these astrologers to get lost. They need to first tell you 5 past predictions. Then let them charge you per question if they want to. This is what I believe, I don't say everybody should follow that or I should follow that, but this is, I believe, should be the ideal way. Because if somebody is not judging your horoscope correctly, how do you think so? If you ask me, I'll say, how does it function, It's a random thought, so it's not a structured conversation. None of my lectures are structured that way. But if you're going to an astrologer and asking him, when am I going to get a job? Or should I do business or should I do a job? You don't even need to go to an astrologer. Your regular grocery shop owner can give you an answer for that. And he'll probably be as much as right as an astrologer, at least 70%. Because what's the big deal? What's the big deal? If you're 20 and you're asking that question, the astrologist told you, yes, you're going to do business. You reach 25, you reach 30, still the prediction hasn't come true. Still the prediction hasn't come true. You go back to that astrologer and say, I just told you broadly, you're going to do business. That's it. When you're going to do business? At the age of 40, 44. Some people end up doing business at the age of 60. They open up a business. So, it's a very broad and loose prediction. You wasted your money. You wasted your money. You don't even know the worth of the guy. You don't even know the worth of the astrologer. He's just done some fancy advertising. These days, advertising is what counts. He's just created some fake emails, posted it on Facebook, and said, see, my prediction came true, see, my that prediction came true. People do that. People do that. Hundreds and hundreds of astrologers do that. Or the best way today to promote yourself is create your own YouTube channel. Keep on blasting about your predictions or trying to show off how much great an astrologer you are. The point is, you need to go to an astrologer whom you can connect, whom you feel comfortable with. His advice is something that you need to listen. You will be able to listen. Suppose he tells you, hey, you need to give up you need to give up your irregular diet and come up with a health regime, otherwise your health is going to go down next year. Many a times we listen to this, but we don't implement it. So you need to go to an astrologer who's really catching your horoscope. Then there are some more few points, what should you expect in a reading? Most of us land up expecting the world in a reading. We want some fancy, absolutely fancy predictions. We are in the business of, hey, on so and so date, you're going to be wearing so and so color shirt, and you're going to meet a man with a mole on the right side. And you'll say, man, it exactly happened. What a prediction. You keep this in mind, you read it on Facebook or in books, you are amazed with it. And you want that kind of fancy prediction every time you go to an astrologer. Life's not like that. These are odd stories, one in a billion. I know several guys who've gone to the best astrologers in India, some of the topmost names, and they land up coming disappointed. Yeah, he said this year to this year would be good, this year to that year would be bad. Nothing great. You know how much I heard about that guy, his fame. Nothing great, nothing brilliant. Because you were expecting a Madari ka tamasha. You were expecting a magician's show, to be enthralled. Guys, this is where maximum of young ones and old ones who get swayed by the image of astrologers that are created out of marketing, self-marketing, etc. This is where you guys fall. I've been through this. I've been to some great astrologers. I said, okay, man, it's just okay, man, nothing great, nothing great. I heard so much about him. I traveled so much. I spent so much, but nothing great. So this is another pitfall you need to avoid. I spent several decades, and still sometimes I fall in that pitfall. I go to meet someone expecting something, expectations. Then what is important is what's happening. Another trend is only very adept astrologers could do it. They would just look at a horoscope, spend 5 seconds and start blasting predictions. Those astrologers are very less now. I've seen them, they're still there. But I look at it this way. The guys who can do it, either they're exceptional or they have spent 40-50 years in this science. It sounds looking at your chart and just saying, in 2 minutes he starts, or in a minute he starts giving predictions, then probably you got to be careful. Of course, in the old India and even in the current real astrological India, if you spend more than 30 seconds on a chart and you don't start predicting, then they believe you do not know astrology. But I have a friend in US, and she spends more than she charges nearly $350 for a chart reading. And She spent more than 4 decades in this science, more than that, in fact, more than that, 5 decades. And she still spends 45 minutes minimum on a chart, prepares the reading, and then gives the reading. I know now, I know several people now will now start blasting. Oh, I spent so much of time on a chart, there's that.